You ever play a video game and think, man, this would make a great show? And then they make it and you're like, almost nailed it. Welcome to The Last of Us Season 2, aka the season where feelings hit harder than clickers. Before we dive in, smash that like button and subscribe, or the algorithm gods will send a bloater to your front door. Nobody wants that, trust me. So let's dive into the recap. In episode 1, Future Days, Joel opens up about saving Ellie, kind of, while conveniently skipping the part where he murdered her entire potential future. Meanwhile, Ellie and her girlfriend Dina are getting closer, and infected are quietly creeping into the town. Elsewhere, a group of vengeful strangers with gym memberships and trauma are closing in, and let's just say they've got Joel on their hit list. Episode 2, Through the Valley, takes a hard swing, literally. Abby, daughter of the Firefly doctor Joel killed, ambushes him during an infected attack. Joel saves her life, and she repays him with a golf club to the leg. Then the neck. Ellie shows up too late, is restrained and forced to watch her father figure die horribly. It's brutal, it's personal, it's war. Episode 3, The Path. Fast forward 3 months. Ellie wants revenge. The Jackson Town Council wants peace, I guess. So she and Dina go rogue. After some goodbyes, a few coffee beans on Joel's grave, and a horrifying encounter with dead Sephirotes in Seattle. Welcome to the war zone, girls. In episode 4, Day 1, we learn about Isaac, the WLF's new leader and the kind of guy who interrogates people with bullets. Ellie and Dina hunker down in a music store for the night. Ellie serenades her, cue the gay panic and apocalypse romance, and things get grim when Ellie is bitten again and reveals she's immune. Dina drops a bombshell of her own. She's pregnant! They make love, and the next morning, time to storm a hospital. Episode 5, Feel Her Love, ramps things up. Jesse swoops in to save Ellie and Dina from both stalkers and Sephirotes. But Dina gets shot. Jesse hauls her to safety, and Ellie heads to Lake Hill Hospital solo. There, she corners Nora, one of Abby's crew, and beats her nearly to death for Abby's location. Also, Nora realizes Ellie's that girl. You know, the cure Joel ruined the world to save. Episode 6, The Price, brings us a tour through Ellie and Joel's strained but sweet relationship via birthday flashbacks. We get guitars, museums, heartbreak, and the emotional gut punch of Gail, Eugene's widow, learning that Joel didn't just save her husband. He executed him to spare her the grief. Ellie finally confronts Joel about the Fireflies. He admits everything and says he'd do it all again. Episode 7, Convergence, is where everything unravels. Ellie's shaken after killing Nora. Dina wants to go home. Jesse and Ellie split up to find Tommy, who's gone full sniper. Ellie heads to the aquarium. She thinks Abby's there. Instead, she finds Owen and Mel. Things go sideways fast. Owen reaches for a gun. Ellie kills them both, then realizes Mel was very pregnant. Whoops. Jesse and Tommy find her and drag her back to the theater hideout, but Abby tracks them down, shoots Jesse in the head, holds Ellie and Tommy at gunpoint. Cut to black, gunshot, end of episode. In this season, vengeance is a cycle. Violence begets violence, and no one gets to stay innocent for long. It's messy, it's raw, it's devastating, and we're only halfway through. Alright, that was a recap of the 7 episodes of The Last of Us Season 2, and way too emotionally damaged for a Sunday night. Now let's talk about what worked, what hurt, and whether this season lived up to the legacy. So whenever going into an adaptation of a book I've read or a game I've played, I keep in mind the medium that it is being adapted to. And overall, I think Season 2 did a decent job, given some caveats that I'll go into here in a bit. As the first season, I think it's probably one of the best video game to show adaptations I've ever watched. In the context of me reviewing the second season, I would probably give the first season probably like a 4.5 out of 5. So what I liked. I actually liked that they introduced Abby early on. At first, I wasn't a fan of that because you don't realize what she's there for in the game, and Joel's murder just comes out of nowhere. But after watching the entire season, I understand why they introduced her so early like that and to give away her motivations. And that's why I don't like the review shows episode by episode. To me, that's kind of like reviewing a movie in 15-minute increments. You're not getting the whole picture in one single episode and why they made the changes that they did. And overall, I did like a lot of the changes they made. And they built a fuller picture of the story and the characters that they were not able to do in the game. Especially like Dina. They gave this character more agency. In the game, she just follows Ellie to her revenge destination, but they give Dina a lot more agency, especially with her being so close to Joel and being there when Joel dies instead of Tommy. But later on, it's a double-edged sword with that though, which I'll go into later. After the big battle in episode 2 and the death of Joel, the main character, they kind of pause a bit on the town, which I liked. I liked a lot, giving the vote to see if they're going to send people with Ellie and Dina to get revenge on these people, which they vote against. I just like the input of everyone in the town and the politics that it involved with a community like that. And for me, the best episode was episode 6, The Price. And that's like my favorite part of the game and the series is just like the more human parts. That's why I felt so connected to the first 2 games. I was just so emotionally invested, which I'm usually not in a video game. And that's what this was. And introducing Eugene, who's not even a character in the game. He's just someone that you read about. And Gail, Catherine O'Hara, she's always like a great addition to anything really. But having her create a character for the show made sense, and having Eugene played by Joey Pants, and what ultimately happens where he kills Eugene, who was like an ex-Firefly, so they're sort of like, why did he kill him? Was he really worried about the infection, or was he worried about what he's going to tell Gail? And having that, he would promise not to kill him, and then Ellie seeing he did that anyway, and it just confirming what happened at the hospital. I think it's probably pretty powerful rather than directly confronting him about it. I thought it was a fantastic way to go about that. And pretty much every expanded scene of side characters, with Jesse giving him more of a leadership role, Isaac especially. You just can't go wrong with more Jeffrey Wright. These flashbacks give more context of where they began and where they are now. And especially just like everything within the WLF. What I didn't care about was the direction they took Ellie. I think giving Dina more agency sort of hurt Ellie's character a bit. They wanted them to fall in love on the journey, but that deviates from Ellie's full-on revenge like she had in the game. It felt they're just trying to cram too much into it. In the game, they fall in love, Joel dies, and then Ellie is on a revenge crusade. So pushing that romance back after Joel dies, it's like, I'm on revenge crusade. Oh, I love you. Let me sing you this song. It made her character lack focus and made her kind of dumb too. Like, she was just, especially in the finale, which I didn't really care for, it made her make a lot of dumb decisions. And people were complaining about Bella Ramsey as Ellie, and I think a lot of those criticisms are gross in a way, especially when they're trying to pause it on one of her like derpy faces. You pause anybody, it makes a derpy face. I pause my face to make it derpy to put on a fucking thumbnail. I think she does a great job as Ellie. I wasn't convinced at the end of episode 5 that I believed her intensity, but seeing it again, I think I did. But this isn't the same Ellie as the video game. This one is more empathetic, I think, and I think that is a intentional decision on the showrunners, and I think it works to an extent, but they did not write her in a positive light. They just made her seem inept. In the finale, the reasons I didn't like it, it just felt super rushed. There's a part where she's going to the aquarium and a wave takes her down. She washes up ashore. The Sephiroths almost kill her. And then they get distracted and let her go. And then she gets back on the boat to head to the aquarium again. I understand the point. She was trying to save a Sephiroth kid, even though she has no business to try to do that because Jesse keeps her from doing it. And it shows like the kid would have killed her anyway. I don't think it was very necessary at all, and it just felt sloppy to just put that in there. And I knew how it was going to end, and it ended not just at the cut to black, but we see a little bit of Abby and start of her day in the day one of the Seattle trip. But man, having people wait 2 years for this cliffhanger to be resolved at the end of the next season, that's just ridiculous. They really need to rethink the production of some of these shows. If you're doing that, you might as well just shoot both seasons back to back and release it like 6 months or a year later. And I know what happens, so it's not like I'm wanting to know what happens and I'm just like smashing the TV wondering what happens. I know what happens. It's just frustrating that you have to wait 2 years. I understand with this season, you had the strikes and everything. You don't have strikes now. Why are you waiting so long? And especially a lot of the actors are not going to be appearing in season 3. I don't know. It's just frustrating the way like shows are being released now without even strikes or anything. So overall, I would have to give The Last of Us season 2 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did like a lot of the changes they made to it to take advantage of the TV series format. The changes with Dina made sense, but it was at the sacrifice of the main character. Every other change improved the story and the characters beyond the game and made it feel fuller. But with a cliffhanger ending that won't get a resolution until the end of the next season, that probably won't come out in 2 years, it's just ridiculous. But I still think it's worth watching, but I don't blame people to wait until the series finishes to start getting into it. Did season 2 meet your expectations? Were you satisfied with the character arcs and the finale's direction? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to check out our playlist for more in-depth reviews and discussions below. Appease the algorithm gods, give this video a like. Maybe subscribe if you want more of these recaps and reviews of TV shows. It's something else I'm trying, so we'll see how it goes. And I'll see you later. Bye.